everyone, my name is Bill. This is Yo-Yo Tech. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, take a minute right now, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell. That means you're going to get notified every time I have new content, and you're going to want to know because today we're looking at the brand new Huawei Mate 20 Pro. This is their brand new flagship phone, and let me tell you, they have packed absolutely every single feature that you can think of from any flagship phone into this one device. Let's roll the intro, and then we're going to take a look and see what they put in it. I had the honor today of going to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro launch. They sent me home with a brand new Mate 20 Pro. So my first impression is I'm actually really kind of liking this phone, and that's to say a lot. I'm coming from a Pixel XL2. That's been my phone for the past while. I really like that phone. I've always been a Pixel fan, and my first impression with this, I like it. It sits nice in my hand. It kind of feels like a Galaxy S9 as far in as the screen wraps around the edges, and the edges are very thin. They come to kind of a rounded side to them. And I mean, it works well. First off the bat, I mean, it's got a built-in screen fingerprint reader, so nothing on the back, nothing on the front. You literally just put your finger down against the screen and it's gonna go ahead and log you in using a fingerprint reader underneath the screen. Best of both worlds, it also has the whole dot projection system, so it can do 3D face unlock, which as far as I can see so far seems to be working just as you would expect it to on any other phone. And it's been great. I mean, just bringing it home today and using it today, I've found I've had use for both of them. There was an instance where I was wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, and Face Unlock just couldn't do it, so I simply tapped the screen using my finger, and it unlocked the phone, which was really nice. And of course, if you need to, there's still the PIN or the password that you have underneath that, so you got 3 ways to get into your phone. Now, one downside on this, it has the notch up at the top, which I know a lot of people are upset about, but I still haven't wrapped my head around completely why they're upset about that. We've always had a little notch at the top of the phone. It used to go all the way across. They've improved upon that. They've shoved the icons kind of up the side, given us a little bit more space. So yes, there's a notch, and someday hopefully we won't have that at all, but to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. It has an absolutely huge battery, and you wouldn't know it. The phone doesn't weigh any more than any other average flagship phone, and it has a 4200 milliamp battery. That's a big battery. On top of that, they've included a super fast charger, and they claim that you can get that battery charged to 70% within 30 minutes. So that's pretty good. If you're like me, you probably plug your phone in from time to time as you're traveling throughout your day, and you're either not going to have to worry about that, or you know that those really quick little charge ups around will make sure that you've got plenty of battery all the time. Now, again, where I talk about multiple features, they've also included wireless charging on this, and it is quick charging. So, I mean, again, best of both worlds. You've got that USB-C quick charge, you've got wireless quick charge. Now, here's something new that we've never seen before. Might end up being a gimmick, but I also see some practical uses for it that people may actually become the hero when they're out with a group of friends. And that is they've built reverse wireless charging into this phone. And what that means is essentially you can become a battery charging pack for other phones. You flick a little switch in the menu, and then you can take other phones, push them up against the back, let them sit on the table wherever you are, and the other person's phone is going to charge off of your enormous battery. Friends are saying, I've got to go, my phone's gonna die soon and I still need to get an Uber or whatever home. You can say, hey, no problem, give it to me for a second, and nice little party trick, put it on the back of your phone and charge their phone up. What's next? Well, the camera. The camera on this phone is, from my first impressions, it's pretty awesome. They've partnered with Leica, which is known for making really nice cameras, lenses and cameras, high-end stuff, and they have put a 4-lens system on the back of this phone. They've actually put 4 cameras in a square pattern. One of them is the LED, the other 3 are cameras. So you have packed into the back there a 40 megapixel 1.8 f1.8, a 20 megapixel f2.2, and an 8 megapixel f2.4. You can do macro photography with this, you can do wide angle photography with this, and you can do standard photography with this. Now, on top of that, they use AI to be able to take all of these pictures and stitch them together to give you some of the best low light photography, some of the best daytime photography, portrait photography, you name it, they're aiming for top of the line photography. All right, so on top of everything else on the phone, we're also going to get 2 different levels of GPS with this phone. It comes with an L1 and an L5 band, and essentially what this means is that you're just going to get much more accurate GPS signal, and it's going to use less battery. The battery management is really good with it, so you're going to be able to get precise GPS signals even when you're in a city. There's lots of buildings around, things like that. It kind of decides which one's giving it the best signal and uses that. As well, it has the super fast LTE networks in there. It's up to 1.4 gigabytes per second download speed, which is pretty much the fastest you're going to go when you're using a cell phone like this. One of the things that you don't often hear about, but it's obviously really important on cell phones, is your security. And they have a really unique feature built into their phone that I haven't seen anywhere else. The first one is, it's called App Lock. So you're actually able to go in and lock individual apps within your phone, which can only be unlocked with a fingerprint. And remember, I told you you can do multiple fingerprints. You can even determine which fingerprint is going to unlock which app, which I thought was kind of cool. On top of that, you can have multiple versions of apps, so you can actually install 2 versions of the same app, which will have completely different stores. So for example, if you wanted to have a work email in its own secure location, but have your personal one less secure, or vice versa, you can install 2 versions of the app. And third, you can even install completely different operating spaces. So you can log in using one fingerprint and it's going to log in to, let's say, your work profile, and you could have a second profile that would log in with a different fingerprint. So this is kind of a really good way. I mean, even if you think about it just from a work, personal life type of thing and keeping those 2 worlds secured, that's a nice thing that they have on the phone here. On top of that, the phone works really well with HDMI interfaces. So if you use a USB-C to HDMI interface, you can plug this into any HDMI monitor or TV screen and it will project the phone up onto the screen. But taking that a step further, you can toggle a little switch in it that actually turns it into like a mini Chromebook. It goes full desktop up on the screen, and you could pair it with a Bluetooth keyboard or mouse, and essentially you could use this phone as a full-out Chromebook. So guys, thank you for joining me today. I think the bottom question is, would I consider this phone as my daily phone? And yes, I'm going to. I am going to switch from the Pixel right now to this phone. I'm going to give it a try for the next couple weeks. If I have any major information, I will definitely come back and tell you about it. But guys, yeah, it is a fantastic phone. It has all of the latest and greatest features. I don't need to decide between fingerprint or face unlock, or having a small battery or a big battery, or a good camera or a bad camera. It has it all. So it's going to be out in a few days. Go out and have a look at it for yourself. Obviously, pick it up, feel it. That's obviously one of the best ways, features, everything aside. If it doesn't feel comfortable in your hand, don't get it. For me, it seems to check all of those boxes, and I'm definitely going to give it a serious try. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video.